Welcome back to the deep dive. So, if you're like most people, you hear the word sustainability and uh, you instantly picture these massive, expensive changes.
Totally. Solar panels, electric vehicles, a complete lifestyle overhaul.
Exactly. But when we really dug into the source material you shared with us, we found something, well, almost counterintuitive.
Hmm.
The real power, the true leverage for environmental impact, it isn't in those huge, rare
No,
purchases.
it's in the small stuff, the consistent habits we do every single day.
Every day.
It's that idea of marginal gains, but applied to the environment. I mean,
Yeah.
our daily routines, how we wake up, what we eat, how we get around, what we throw away, those are the real drivers of environmental strain.
And when you add it all up,
The cumulative effect of billions of those little decisions is
Mhm.
just staggering. So our mission today is to distill all this down into a blueprint of, practical, easy to follow actions.
actions that don't just help the planet.
Right. They also lead to a more organized, less stressed, and ultimately a more mindful life for you.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're starting with probably the most visible challenge in our lives, which is just physical waste.
Yeah.
We're calling this segment Winning the War Against Waste. And you can't talk about waste without talking about the main villain,
Single-use plastics.
single-use plastic.
That's where the analysis has to start, really, because of the huge asymmetry involved.
What do you mean by asymmetry?
Well, the sources, they really highlight this fundamental problem.
Hmm.
We use an item, a plastic straw, a takeout box, a shopping bag, for maybe, what, 5 or 10 minutes?
If that.
And yet, they stick around on the planet for hundreds of years. The environmental cost just massively outweighs the convenience.
Hundreds of years. Wow, so the simple fix, it's not revolutionary, is it? It's just discipline.
It's preparation.
Preparation.
Yeah.
Making it a habit to carry reusable things.
Right. Means keeping a cloth tote bag everywhere,
Oh, right.
in the car, in your coat pocket, rolled up in your purse.
So you never have an excuse to take a new plastic one.
Exactly. And that way of thinking, it goes beyond just shopping trips. Think about hydration.
The plastic water bottle.
Swapping that for a durable stainless steel or glass one is, it's essential. We're not just stopping pollution. The material actually confirms these options keep your water cleaner and safer over time.
But there's a deeper habit here, isn't there? It's about making the active choice.
The active choice to refuse,
Mm.
yes. Don't just automatically accept the free plastic cutlery or the lid on your coffee or the, unnecessary plastic wrap.
That small note.
That small no is where the power starts.
Okay, moving on from plastics, let's talk about something surprising. Organic waste. This is where we hit a fact a lot of people just miss.
Yeah, the importance of composting.
It seems like such a niche thing.
It does, but it's a critical area where our good intentions can go wrong. What's fascinating here is that estimates show over 50% of a typical household's waste is biodegradable stuff.
Like vegetable scraps, coffee grounds,
Mhm.
eggshells.
All of that. And you'd think, oh, it's biodegradable, it's harmless. Yeah. But when you dump it into a massive oxygen-deprived landfill, it decomposes anaerobically.
Without oxygen,
And that process produces methane.
which is not your average greenhouse gas, right?
Oh, far from it. The data shows methane is like 25 times more potent at trapping heat than carbon dioxide over a 100-year period.
So my fruit peels and tea bags in the regular bin.
We're contributing significantly to atmospheric warming, yes.
Wow. Okay, so the whole point of composting is to get oxygen into that process.
Exactly. It transforms that waste into rich, usable, organic fertilizer.
But what if I live in a tiny apartment? I mean, the idea of an odor-free bin for rotting food feels a little optimistic.
That's a great point and a real barrier for people. The sources are pretty practical about this. They suggest starting with a small, sealed countertop unit.
And those work.
Many have carbon filters that minimize the odor drastically. And if a backyard pile isn't an option, they really stress looking into community programs or local drop-off centers.
So it's not about where you do it.
It's just that you reroute that waste stream away from the landfill. You can even freeze your scraps until you can drop them off. It's a great small space solution.
That idea of rerouting waste, it leads perfectly into the third habit here, the mantra of reuse and upcycling.
This is all about extending the lifespan of every single object you bring into your home. It's about adopting a circular mindset in what is, a very linear world.
So the challenge is before you throw anything away, you just pause.
And you ask, can this be used again?
Okay.
Used differently.
Right. We're talking about repurposing glass jars for spices or snacks, which means you don't need to buy new plastic containers.
Or taking old clothes, the ones that are too worn out to donate, and turning them into cleaning rags or even getting creative.
Like cushion covers or quilts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Upcycling is fantastic because it hits multiple targets at once, it reduces the burden on landfills, but crucially, it also reduces the demand for new materials and the energy needed to make new stuff.
It connects reducing consumption directly to creativity. I love
Sure.
that.
Yeah. Okay, let's pivot. From the physical waste we generate, let's move inside the home to the resources we use, energy and water.
And this is where sustainability becomes immediately measurable on your monthly utility bill.
Right. So energy use, it's a huge generator of greenhouse gases.
And smart habits here are like financially and environmentally synergistic.
I know.
The easiest habit, the one cited everywhere in the material, is the switch to LED bulbs
And the numbers are huge on this one. They use up to 80% less electricity.
and lasts so much longer. It's an investment that pays for itself really quickly.
But there's an invisible drain we need to talk about beyond just the light switch.
Ah, phantom power.
The vampire devices, we always hear unplug your charger, but why? I mean, why is it drawing power if it's not actually charging anything?
That is the deep dive question. So modern appliances, your TV, your coffee maker, all your chargers, they're designed for instant gratification.
They need to be ready to go. Exactly. So they draw standby power to maintain internal clocks, or to power a sensor for a remote control, or just to keep circuitry primed for that instant on function.
And that little trickle adds up.
It really does. It could be 5 to 10% of your total electricity bill. So making a habit of plugging things into a power strip and just flipping that one switch off is an immediate fix.
That technical insight is so key. It helps you understand why you're unplugging, not just that you should. We should also talk about climate control. Using natural daylight, using ceiling fans before you crank up the AC.
A fan uses dramatically less power to create that same cooling feeling. And a quick note on laundry, a huge energy hog.
Right.
Washing clothes in cold water is just as effective with modern detergents. And air drying your clothes, even just partially, saves a ton of energy and actually extends the life of your clothes.
So the sustainable choice is also the economically sound one, again.
Again and again.
Okay, now let's tackle water. Freshwater scarcity it's a growing crisis globally, even in places that feel like they have plenty of water.
Absolutely. We have to treat every drop as precious. The immediate actions are simple, but you have to be diligent. Shorter showers, closing the tap when you brush your teeth.
But here's where it gets really interesting.
Let's talk about leaks.
Fix that drip. The source material says a single dripping tap can waste thousands of liters a year. Put that into perspective for us.
Okay, think of it this way. Thousands of liters is enough water for a family of 4's daily drinking needs for, well, over a year.
From one drip.
It's an enormous silent drain.
The really novel idea, though, was about reusing water, specifically the leftover RO water. Why focus on that? Why is RO wastewater so significant?
That's a great question because it's so specific. So reverse osmosis systems, they're common for making purified drinking water. The way they work is by forcing water through a membrane to filter out minerals and salts.
Okay.
But to do that, it produces a large amount of reject water, a waste stream that's full of those concentrated minerals.
So you can't drink it.
You can't drink it, but it's perfectly fine for non-potable uses like mopping the floor, or washing the car, or watering certain plants. It's the ultimate example of maximizing a resource at home.
So it turns a really inefficient system into a more circular one that connects perfectly to our final segment, rethinking what we buy and how we move.
And this is about the upstream impact before an item even gets to your home.
Right. And the foundation of this whole section is mindful consumption. The sources give us this powerful sort of behavioral pause button.
Before any purchase, you just ask yourself 2 questions. 1, do I actually need this? Or is it just a momentary impulse?
And 2,
Can I repair it or upcycle it later?
that second one forces you to think beyond just the immediate use. So if you decide you do need it, then you apply criteria.
Right. Choosing products with sustainable minimal packaging. Prioritizing things you know are durable.
And avoiding the trap of fast fashion and cheap goods that are basically designed for the landfill.
And here's the profound personal benefit the material points to. Mindful consumption just leads to less clutter
And less clutter means less waste, fewer decisions.
and a fundamentally more peaceful living space.
Yeah.
The reward for being environmentally conscious is internal peace.
That is the real takeaway, the lifestyle benefit. Okay, moving to sustainable food choices. Our diet is a huge hidden variable in our footprint.
It's enormous. From farming to transport, it has a huge weight. The first buying habit is simple. Buy seasonal and local produce,
It's fresher, cheaper.
and has a much smaller carbon footprint because there's less transport and less refrigerated storage time involved.
And for people who enjoy meat, the sources are clear. You don't have to become a strict vegan overnight.
Not at all. The data shows that just adding more plant-based meals, even just committing to one vegetarian day a week, reduces emissions significantly. The focus is on incremental change, not, absolute restriction.
And linking back to our first segment, reducing food waste has to be a top priority here.
Absolutely. Precise meal planning, storing things properly, getting creative with leftovers.
It all stops those resources from hitting the landfill.
Every bit of food you waste represents wasted land, water, labor, and energy. Minimizing it is one of the most immediate things you can do.
Finally, eco-friendly transportation, one of the biggest sources of air pollution.
For short distances, the benefit of walking or cycling is it's manifold. It's healthier, it's cleaner, and the source is stress that it's refreshing.
A mental break built into your commute.
Exactly. For longer trips, it's all about efficiency. Public transport, carpooling.
The highest number of people per vehicle mile traveled.
That's what reduces the collective footprint. And looking forward, exploring electric options like e-bikes, e-scooters, or EVs is becoming more and more viable.
So what does this all mean? We've covered a huge range of habits from, the kitchen sink to the power outlet to the checkout line.
I think it means we can drop this intimidating idea that sustainability requires perfection or huge amounts of money.
It doesn't.
It just requires consistent, small, thoughtful steps integrated into the routine you already have.
So we've given you these actionable habits across 3 key areas. Winning that war against waste, mastering resource efficiency at home, and rethinking how you consume and move.
And we really encourage you to just start with just one habit today. Maybe it's making sure you always have a reusable bag. And then add another next week.
Because the cumulative effect is where the real power
This
is.
is the foundation of a truly sustainable life.
And as the source material so beautifully suggests, the practical outcomes, less clutter, saving money, less waste, they lead to a reward that's far beyond just the environmental impact. The true reward is creating a fundamentally more peaceful and mindful existence. We learn that saving the planet really starts with finding peace and intention in our own routine. So what small change will you make today to feel that peace?